Raider Nation, what is the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy Panama Fargo back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. And today, man, we're gonna go over day 2 of joint practices today with the Los Angeles Rams. And apparently, we're seeing some great things from this D line, man. Some good things from the offense, nothing too spectacular, but this D line really took the show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the intro started and let's get it cracking.
Young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
Raider Nation, what is the deal? Once again, you're watching another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure you're tapping on that like and subscribe button, and please hit on the little notification bell so you get updated whenever I drop episodes like this one here. But like I was saying, man, the D-line really took the show today in joint practice number 2 with the Rams. And you know how we got to do? We got to go into the beat reporters' notes, right? And look at what they're saying about what's going on in practice. So, let me go ahead and share my screen. And let's go ahead and get into the practice. Boom, boom, boom. All right. As you can see right here from Hondo Carpenter, first joint practice rep of the day and the first scrimmage of the day, Donald versus Netane Moody. So as you can see, first rep of the day, the Raiders were on it. And this is what we said yesterday that we wanted to see when they started the practice today. How are they going to start energy-wise? How are they going to start competitive-wise? And you already see from the first snap, from the jump, right? Netane Moody, Aaron Donald get into it. Now, it wasn't nothing too major because it was broken up. But at the end of the day, you see that fight. You see that competition because they know they didn't do as good as they could have did last practice, right? And now they're coming out with a more intensive focus. So, boom, we start off for there. We see Michael Mayer was out there. Good news. All right, Michael Mayer's out there. That means Michael Mayer. We see here Tyree Wilson going through his drills again with the Raiders coaches. And they're really teaching him fundamentals, right? They're really going through fundamentals with Tyree Wilson, really focusing on things. You'll see later on Max Crosby and him, once it was special teams period, started working extra on his pass rush moves, right? So remember, as we always say with Tyree Wilson, he has to get his rhythm in pads, right? He has to get it cracking in pads. Hasn't been in pads for a long time. So right now we're seeing the Raiders coaches, Raiders players refine his technique. And that's what this year is for. This year is for him to refine the technique. And next year, we will see him put it all together. But let's continue, right? Here with Levi Edwards. Nesta J. Silvera and Adam Butler are, for lack of better words, once again, ragdolling some people in one-on-ones. Now, when we saw Nesta last game against the 49ers, we didn't see too much flash, but we saw some good things, right? We saw some things that make you be like, okay, this guy has some tools, right? And from Adam Butler, Adam Butler played his ass off last game. So to see that they're continuing with the consistency, all right, what do we have in this D-line? Is this D-line really, really improved? Because on paper, we look at it, we don't really like the room. But from seeing when they go against other competition and how they've been performing in this training camp, so far, this D-line is very, very improved, all right? And they're proving a lot of people wrong, it's including myself, right? So, boom, as we continue, like I was talking about, Tyree Wilson, Max Crosby taking him under his wing, right? And this is the shit right here you love to see, okay? This is the shit that I was hoping was going to start happening once he got on the field, because you're going to get around guys like Max Crosby, who on this trajectory is an all-pro perennial. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he's going to continuously be an all-pro. And Max and Tyree can only benefit from learning from guys like that. And then you talk about adding a veteran leadership like Chandler Jones, who might be wearing a gold jacket one day at the end of the day, right? This is going to be just valuable knowledge he has to soak up this year, right? Just beautiful to see. So as we continue, right, Hondo Carpenter, once again, Raiders D-line dominated Rams O-line. In bold letters, dominated. All right, now does that mean one-on-ones? Does that mean, team period? Who knows? But to see that and to put it in bold, dominated. This is the type of shit that we want to see from this D-line. Disruptive, domination. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's only going to make the other levels of the defense look better. It's only going to make our linebackers, our corners, safeties look better. And other years where our safeties, corners haven't looked good, we have to remember they've been covering for goddamn nearly 6-7 seconds. Nobody can cover that long. You know what I mean? So now that we have a D-line that's going to push the pace, that's going to push the pressure up, let's see how now our other units look, right? So continuing with the practice. No doubt Jacoby Myers is so consistent. Same as Max Crosby and Tay Adams. Myers deserves same respect as those two. We already talked about Jacoby Myers. We know what he's about to do this year. And for those who don't know what Jacoby Myers is going to do this year, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised on how good this guy is and how much of a burden he's going to take off of your other receiving weapons like Devontae, like Hunter, even Michael Mayer. You feel what I'm saying? He's going to take a lot of burden off. So remember that. This is the shit you want to see here too. Logan Reaver. Fantastic 2-minute drill from Jimmy G. 6 for 6. Leading the field goal in red zone with 8 seconds left. Would have loved it to be a touchdown, but hey, that's just me nitpicking. Renfro catch for 7. Adams catch for 5. Adams catch for 10. Myers across the middle for 20. Myers catch extremely tight window for 12. And another Myers catch for 8. 3 straight catches for Jacoby Myers. 2 straight for Devontae Adams. 1 for Renfro. As you see, Jimmy G's cooking now. And if we can start, he's cooking with gas in these quick games now. All right. We've seen in the last 2-minute drills from a couple of these practices, he's starting to stack it together. And the 2-minute drill is where he starts to shine. Right. And well, that's what I love to see. We want a QB when the pressure is tightest, when the pressure is real and the lights are bright. Is he going to shrink? And in these 2-minute drills, too many times last year in these 2-minute drill situations, the Raiders decided to take it into the half without scoring points. And if any of y'all watched Raiders football last season, you saw many a times they turned down some drives before the half, even if we felt like there was enough time on the clock and just took it into the half. I don't see that happening this year. This year, if there's time on the clock before the half, they're going to go for the 3 or they're going to go for the touchdown because I believe there's more trust. There's a more trust factor here this year with the quarterback, with the players that are here for the second year in a row in the system. We see more trust. So that is going to be something that I think changes with this offense as well. And we're seeing it. Jimmy is now operating in that 2-minute drill situation. He's starting to dice people up, and that's what we love to see. Levi King, once again, here we go. First team session featured a couple deep attempts from Jimmy G to Devontae. Both fell incomplete. First underthrown on a go up to the left sideline, knocked down by Witherspoon. Second off target on a post in double coverage. Now, this tweet would have you kind of worrying if you didn't watch Jimmy's pressure after the practice. And I implore you to go watch what Jimmy said in his interview today after the second practice. He said he loves these joint practices because you get more out of them, more say than the preseason. And at the same time, these are the times for you to try things. He even said it, and us Raider fans have to take a breath and realize this. A lot of new guys still getting their camaraderie. A lot of new people on his team, new fresh faces. So he's still getting the camaraderie of people. The receivers are still getting the rhythm with him. So at the end of the day, this is a chance for him to try certain things, get to know his players a little more, what they can and cannot do, right? And test the boundaries, test the limits. You rather him do it now in these joint practices than do that shit week 1 and beyond. Right. So at the end of the day, we're seeing him test things, right? Well, we love to see him connect. We saw him connect on a couple of passes this whole training camp, as we continue. But, like he said, he wants to try things. He wants to see what he can do, what he can and cannot do. And this was an example of one of those things. Okay. So as we continue up, last but not least, we have to talk about Mr. Porn Stash himself, Mr. Aiden O'Connell. Completing 2 balls on the sideline in the only place he could put it with pressure in his face. Did have an intentional grounding and held on a bit too long at other times, but the arm talent is there. We all know that's probably one of his problems, just holding on to the ball too long, but that will start to go away as he starts to read and react to what defense is giving him as he continues to play. The more he sees, right? The more he sees, the more he'll be able to react faster. And that's another guy I'll be looking very closely on Saturday. Will he continue his ascension? Will he continue to be as good as he was last game? So that is something that we had to see. Pretty much all the notes that I saw that really stood out to me from these practices, D-line doing work, defense not getting their hands on as many footballs as they were last week. But like we said, they're going against better quarterback competition, better quarterback play. So I anticipated that happening. But doesn't sound like they were getting totally carved up like they were the first day, but still had their struggles. So, we're going to see how this game plays out. Now, this Saturday is going to be telling us a lot because I feel like it was pretty even these first 2 days. Now, you could say the Raiders probably won the 2 practices with a slight advantage, but at the end of the day, it seems pretty even to me. So this Saturday is going to tell a lot about, what type of progression we're making from week to week. Stay tuned for tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to be dropping the players to watch in the game on Saturday. So tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping players to watch. Stay tuned for that video. And tonight, if you are watching this video tonight, Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific time, I have a live going with my boy, Protect the Shield, with my other guy, Sportsman, and newcomer to the channel, Spicy Raider Girl, man. We got something cracking tonight. We're going to be talking more training camp, getting their opinions, asking y'all what y'all think in the comments, man. So make sure y'all tune in tonight because it's going to be a very, very fun live show. And on Saturday, we're going to have another live watch party for y'all. So tune up for that, man. So remember, I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.